Good morning, San Jacinto, and welcome to our first edition of Spotlight here at San Jacinto Unified School District. I am on the playground of San Jacinto Elementary today. As we begin the 15-16 school year in San Jacinto, I am proud to continue as the superintendent of this incredible school district comprised of incredible students, wonderful staff, and a supportive community. Today on Spotlight, we are going to be talking about the Great Shakeout. There is nothing more important than the safety of our students. We take that to heart here in San Jacinto Unified. To this end, we have been working on safety diligently since 2012, not only with the training of our staff, but also with the partnership of Hour Zero, a school-based emergency preparedness organization. By bringing Hour Zero to San Jacinto to support us, we are ensuring that we are practicing regularly and diligently to ensure that our students and staff are prepared in case of a real emergency. Hour Zero also has an online component, and that online component allows our staff to practice regularly and to ensure we are updated in all the latest emergency preparedness.
What we want to do is make sure that the kids know that, hey, you know what, we live in earthquake country. There is a possibility that one day we might have a big earthquake, and we want to make sure that everyone is prepared. We do this almost on a monthly basis. We had to do duck and cover, we do fire drills, we do a lockdown, just to make sure that kids are comfortable and know what to do. So today what's going to happen is we have a scenario that will be delivered to us very shortly to know exactly what is going to be happening here at SJE. So what we're going to do is make sure that everyone knows their job, they know what they're supposed to do. And one of the great things about this is that there might be some issues. By the time we're done, we're like, you know what? We need more materials. We need to change the spot we were at. We need to make sure that we have more coverage for student supervision. So at the end, we like to go back and look at what worked and what didn't work so that we can fix it and make it even better.
Our dedication to implementing this program, Hour Zero, has led us to receive state and national awards. In fact, Don Lawrence, who is our Emergency Preparedness and Communications Coordinator, has received an award and is actually speaking not only statewide, but nationally on the topic of emergency preparedness. So little did you know that we are the hub and we are a model for safety here in California.
We do have two C-vans, 10 foot by 10 feet. And what we do is we have to make sure that we have enough supplies for there. So right now what we have is we have 10 55-gallon drums of water. We have medical supplies, we have stretchers, we have pop-ups, we have many things that we know that in the case of emergency we're going to be needing. And what happens with the activities is that we bring out a lot of these things to make sure that they're in good shape. We make sure that if there's anything missing, we make sure we buy them to replenish. And we also make sure that there's something that, you know what, we didn't think of, that we're going to go and include it as well. Because again, in case of emergency, we have to make sure that everything is ready and set to go. Now, we all know that, you know what, we can prepare the best that we can. There's always going to be something missing. But when you have a staff of 40 people, you have a community helping out, they can go ahead and give us input to make sure that, hey, you know what, you didn't think about this. You might have forgot about that. And if we do all that, then we're going to be in very good shape.
So while everyone knows in the state of California today at 10:15, a mock simulation of an earthquake will occur to help everyone practice, our sites don't actually know what the actual real damages are. So at 10:15 today, after the mock earthquake occurs, the site administrator will be handed an envelope that will tell them exactly what has occurred and what some of the damages are. From that point, the sites will begin to respond with their children, their adults, their community members. Anyone that is on campus will actually go and take on the roles, but no one has been front-loaded on what the real emergency is.
Morning, brother, or Mr. Penaloza. There is the information that you need for today's Great Shakeout.
Today's activity is going to include an earthquake will commence at 10:15 a.m. We're going to prepare the earthquake by making an announcement beginning by 10:15. So our scenario today is going to be severe ground shaking. It's going to last for 45 seconds. There's going to be breaking glass and things will crash onto the ground. After the quake subsides, we're going to remember to count to 60 prior to exiting every building. So that's going to be happening today at San Jacinto Elementary School. We want to make sure that the students know that even though this is an exercise, that in case of a real emergency, they're going to be hearing noises. They're going to feel shaking. So one of the things that we're trying to do today, as during our exercise, is that the kids experience some of that. So we do have a short little video where this will play for about 45 seconds. In 45 seconds, they'll hear this. It'll gradually get louder and louder to the point where, like, they know that, hey, you know what? If there's a road emergency, we're going to be hearing this. We're going to be feeling something, and it's not just ducking cover. Everything is quiet. It's, I guess, more of a real feeling to it.
Good morning, boys and girls, teachers and staff, and volunteers. This is your principal, Mr. Peñalosa. Boys and girls, today we are going to practice an earthquake drill. Not just any earthquake drill, but the Great California Shakeout. Boys and girls, we live in earthquake country, and we all have to be prepared to make sure that in case of a major earthquake, we know what to do. So when you hear the sound, go ahead and practice what you've been practicing all year long. Those of you that are in 4th and 5th grade, you've been doing this for many years. The duck and cover. And teachers, just so you know, we are to wait 60 seconds with no movement, no noise, before we actually exit and egress off the playground. Okay, again, we are going to go ahead and start this practice drill right now. Thank you very much for your patience.
Earthquake. We will now be counting for about 60 seconds. And I like that everybody's protecting the back of their heads and holding on to their desks for shaking. I will now go under my desk and I will start counting so that we are safe under our table. Get out of your area, line up, and we're going to walk towards our designated safe area on the field.
Just so you know, the earthquake is over, and now we see loss of debris, not only inside the classroom, but also outside the classroom. There is broken glass from broken windows and many fallen items.
Sergio, thank you. Juliana, thank you. Ashley, thank you. Alex, thank you. Miguel, thank you. Brandon, thank you. Jose, come over. Come over, come over. Hey, just join the line. Watch out.
Yeah, we're good too. Well, I'll leave it. Yeah, okay, I'll.
I report to the district office what's going on here at the site.
And what's the status?
Right now they're just calling, checking in with the school sites.
I'm the operation facility person who is in charge of everything. Everyone comes to me. I check to make sure everything's been turned off, everyone is safe, and then I talk to the chief, which is Mr. Peñalosa.
What's your yellow rescue?
The yellow represents that I'm a lead for search and rescue, so they can easily find me.
We have severe damage throughout the campus and are unable to return to the campus. We have no injuries reported, and all students and staff are accounted for.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have right now. What we have is that almost every single one of our buildings is down. We cannot reoccupy them. The great thing is that everyone is accounted for, staff and also students. Right now we have a team turning off the gas, the electricity, and the water in that order, and they'll report back to us. Okay, so that's what our conditions we have right now. I haven't been in communication with the district office yet, but I will any second now as soon as they contact us. Okay, we need to now that we know everyone is accounted for, we need to establish a parent pickup. We also need to establish our medical center. So those of you in charge of that area, go ahead and report to that area, please.
Private 6 clear, 6 o'clock.
It's to teach us how to evacuate and get under our table for an earthquake. I think it's important because we got to learn how to do stuff when it's a real emergency.
What are you holding up?
If the green card's like we got all the students, like none of them is missing, because this emergency is okay, there's no missing students.
Is everybody accounted for? So what do y'all think about this exercise?
It's good because like we had to practice for this, and if it's a real one, we could like be ready for it.
Very good. Very good.
We have to be ready for anything.
You could get nervous when this happens a lot because you don't know if it's real or a drill until you get out here. But usually when it's a drill, everyone like calms down super quick.
I'm an agency liaison, and right now we're just looking to still getting all of the information and finding out what our next step is going to be.
Students and staff are accounted for.
Any injuries?
No injuries. Buildings are all evacuated.
Not new information. Schools are still checking in. They just brought out the water for students.
We are actually waiting for our personnel to go ahead and bring all our facilities that we need for our injured patients, so that way we can go ahead and get it set up and ready to go. There was 2 ant bites, and there was an actual injury that actually happened, twisted knee. So that is what we treat him. We do have another student that is very asthmatic that cannot be on the grass area, that he is here with us.
Central Kitchen, this is the OC. Can we please get a status report?
This is Central Kitchen. We have light damage, moderate for the campus, severe for the neighborhood, and all power is down. Everyone is accounted for, and we evacuate the building.
10-4, thank you, Central Kitchen. Wait for further instructions.
ECT, this is San Jacinto Elementary School. We have lots and lots of parents arriving. So because we're all accounted for and the facilities are severely damaged, we're going to go ahead and move all of our search and rescue team to assist to make sure that the unification between parents and children is a nice, calm one.
We are the request gate. So this is where the parents fill out the forms to request for their students. We have to ID them, making sure that it is a parent. Then they'll receive the emergency card with the request form, and then we'll send them to Reunion Gate with Miss Iris. So the first gate down by the Grand Army parent parking lot is the request form. Once the parents fill out the form, provide ID, the person in charge over on that end will give the parents the emergency card, so they will bring back 3 documents with them. They'll bring the request form, they'll bring the emergency card, and parent ID. They will hand it to me, and then once I verify that the parent is on the emergency card and everything is good, I will have runners here. The runners will I will hand the request form to the runners. The runners will go to where the students are at and physically bring the student back with them. Then they will go to the last checkout reunification over to Mrs. Valerio, and then she will again verify that the student is going with the correct person and that the teachers put the time and checked out that they were released with a request form, and then the parents will then be directed to walk out and exit through our gate here.
After they went to the station before us, parents or whoever the student's going to be released to will show me their ID along with the form they filled out. That's already been approved and checked by my previous station, and having those and their emergency card of the student that they also received from the previous station. With those 3 things, I can release the student that will be coming with me with a runner from our staff.
Okay, so after our students exit the buildings and are safe on the field, part of the exercise is going to include that there was no hurt individuals and that there's no one missing as part of this exercise today. So it's a great thing to make sure, we make sure that we know how to account for every single student and also every single staff member. Another important part of this exercise is not only preparing our kids and staff for what might happen one day, it's also letting the community know our process. Because what happens is, lots of times they have no idea something big happens like this, and we have to make sure that our parents know that, hey, in the event of a big earthquake, These are the steps that we're going to be taking. As we learn more about our process, we can share that with our school site council, with our ELAC committee. We can share that at parent informal meetings, coffee with the principal, so that they know that, hey, you know what, if something like this was to happen, then these are our steps, and they're more comfortable with that process. They'll know that, you know what, there has to be a little bit of patience. You will be standing in line for a little while. We want to make sure the kids get out there in a safe manner, because it could be where, if it's a great catastrophe, that we might be here for about 3 or 4 days. And if that is the case, then we need to be ready, not just with water, but with food and with medical supplies, so that we could provide for all of our students and our community as well.
Thank you for joining me here at San Jacinto Elementary, where we experienced the Great Shakeout. Next, we're going to go to the district office, where the Emergency Operations Center is taking place, or better known as the EOC. Follow us there and stay tuned as we see how the district office operates in a real emergency.
We're currently having an earthquake drill with a 10:15 at 10:15 statewide drill. We're broken up into the EOC. Different activities are happening inside. The extra people that were outside have all taken on the role of being personal contacts with each individual site and department to speed up the communication process.
Are you still trying to contact?
No, actually I've contacted everybody pretty much, and everybody responded and said that we're all clear, so I'm just going to wait another 15-20 minutes.
And what school?
North Mountain and Nutrition Center.
Oh, it should be Todd or Tara. Patty, they're all.
Sometimes that's how people will call in, but the people aren't first. Okay. So we'll make note.
Mountain View High School EOC acknowledged. Please notify us as soon as possible if any food or clothing supplies will be needed for overnight use.
Talk to me what's going on here.
Right now, I am the agency liaison officer. I'm currently calling Dr. Vince Record, who is at the city or with the city at this time. I'm going to be on the phone with him to coordinate assistance and information for between the school district and the city.
I am the planning chief, and it is my job to think futuristically and currently at the same time. So I'm working on a board where people are bringing me issues, and I'm deciding if they're current or going to be something we can deal with a little bit later, prioritizing.
What is the possibility of...
No, it's just if you receive information from them, if anyone calls and asks about that, I'm getting the information out right now.
I'm the Emergency Operations Director, and we are currently starting Operation Period 3. Getting updates from the sites. We have two to three sites that may need current evacuation. So between operations and planning, we are designating safe evacuation routes and pickup points, marking them on maps, scanning them to the public information officer, who will then get that information out to parents. We have buses available if we're going to do evacuations. We also have contacted food services, so we have plenty of food available for lunchtime services at the high school, or if we have overnight evacuees staying, they'll be well fed.
So excellent that you had those conversations and started to get in front of that from a logistical standpoint. Where we would like to go with this, though, is if we can make it a little more formal in terms of a logistics basically plan. So any area that's going to be significant, there's some forms that we can use, but even if it was something as simple as this is what we have available, this is the identified need. Okay. So you want to be able to basically show those two things, and that becomes part of the next operational period.
I would like planning officer to give us an update on future and current status, as well as operations and logistics regarding the pickup points and mapping.
Okay, so I think right now some of our future issues are going to be the overnight stay and pickup in the morning, as well as starting to utilize some of our scarce resources from other sites that may be available. So we'll start moving into that. Currently, we're still working on the distribution of food and water to the DNs on the site, the field, notification of staff not leaving, and just continuing student pickup where applicable.
All right, so in relation to the information officer, they were working with operations and logistics on pickup points and safe egress and ingress to the school sites for pickup. Is there any additional information that they need to know regarding that before they release information to parents?
Not that I have.
Question.
I have information. I know what's
Perfect.
going on
Let's have
there.
it.
Okay.
So at Monte Vista, they have a parent reunification at Talkwitz. It's going smoothly. At least 1/3 have already been picked up, and they do not need additional support.
Any questions or clarification needed? Because if we are confused on any number of issues here in the EOC, that will transmit down to our school sites and our departments. Any points of
Just to clarify,
clarification?
the only two sites that have left their site is Record and Mountain View, correct? Those are no longer on their sites. Record I have went to the college.
Record walk to the college.
That is correct on Record.
Monte Vista is in their parking lot. North Mountain is okay. Lions are present. Mountain View went to San Jacinto High School. San Jacinto High School is okay. Preschools are okay. Record we talked about left. Seahawks are okay. Estadio, reunifying from campus. SJE, reunifying from campus. De Anza from the backside of their campus, and Hyatt's all clear.
1111, city declared state of emergency.
We always have more than what we need, but if not, then it starts to flush itself out with prioritization. So as logistics team
Okay, I'm going to use that. I'm going to go get ready for my press briefing. Let me go and find Carla. Carla, yeah, let's go set out another message. We're going to be holding a press conference at 11:45 in the lobby.
So today was a horrific event for all of the Valley. And could you tell me what the status is currently at the schools?
We're still taking a status of the damage that is at each one of our campuses, but you're correct in that it's a pretty substantial earthquake that we've experienced at every school site. There's been a little bit of damage, at least in the neighborhood, if not on the campus grounds proper. So we're still maintaining a status. We have done an accountability of all of our students, and we do have them all in a safe location.
And could you estimate the amount of damage that has been done to the schools?
It's just initial estimates right now. We do know that a lot of books and bookshelves and whatnot have tumbled down, but we're still getting a full-on structural accountability, an analysis on what kind of damage might be happening within the building.
Can you give me an approximation of what this is going to cost the school district?
Not at this time. It's going to take a little more studying and for us to really be certain about what kind of damage we have.
Parents are going to be wanting their children to pick up their children. Can you tell me what the process is and where they're supposed to be going?
Well, we've just issued a message for pickup instructions for parents on 5 of our school sites. 2 of the school sites the students have been evacuated to a safer location for parent pickup, and we've already provided a notice through our all-call system, an auto dialer, as well as posting it on our mobile application.
What are those schools that need to be reunited with their parents right now?
Record Elementary and Mountain View High School.
And how many students are those?
There's approximately 600 students from Record Elementary and 300 for Mountain View High School.
We're hearing reports that the parents have arrived at their evacuation centers and the students are not even there yet.
Well, we do have an official process where we maintain the students in a safe location until we make sure that we have the proper identification on each of the parents or guardians that have come to pick up the students. So we have a full-on process. There are forms and staff that are available to assist those parents, and it will be done in a timely manner. But we will keep students in a safe location up until the moment we're sure it's proper to release them to anyone that has come to claim those students.
Are the school plans available for people to review to ensure that they're up to California safety codes for earthquakes?
We sure do have a plan that's listed on our website, and we put out a notice to parents at the beginning of every school year to help refresh their memory of what our plans are. We've used the same process for the last few years, and we are very sure that we use a process that's current with California standards for the state. So we're pretty firm with that, and they are available on our website.
I understand that some of the schools are now having drones flying over them from some parents that are assessing the damage, and they're saying that it's substantially greater than what the school district is providing for information, that the damage is substantial, and they are seeing children injured on the school grounds.
I can't comment on that. I'm not aware of any of that information, and you know we do not have any drones ourselves to be maintaining that type of surveillance. So I'm not sure what it is they're seeing, and if they're actually over our campuses. Those drones may be flying over another school district, and we wouldn't necessarily know about that. But we're obtaining the information. We've got a plan, and all of our action plan has been put into place as far as assessing the damage, making sure first, primarily, that the students are in a safe location and being well cared for, and especially if we have any further aftershocks.
School tomorrow or no?
Haven't made a decision yet. It'll all be about how well we do with the stability check of each of the school campuses and all of the buildings that they contain to make sure it's safe.
Thank you, Ms. Lawrence.
Today we're working with San Jacinto Unified School District and working on advancing their preparedness state for emergencies. Over the last 3 years, San Jacinto has been heightening their awareness for emergency preparedness within their schools, but also getting their staff at a better level of readiness. Today, we were experiencing an earthquake. We were part of the Shakeout experience. And so with that, all of the schools were engaged in conducting drills, but the Emergency Operations Center was also activated, which pulls all of the key people out of the district office and getting them at a coordination level. So the district office staff were engaged by coordinating all of the activities that may occur throughout the entire of the school district. That allows them to test their communication systems, to test their response efforts, to ensuring that all students and staff are safe, and to alerting parents as to what the status of the schools are, whether the schools will be opened on the next day, and addressing immediate concerns related to infrastructure stability. We've been working with the district for over 3 years now, and over those 3 years, we've watched them implement the incident command system and to get a very active emergency operations center. It positions them extremely well in being able to move forward with ensuring that should that big one happen in California, they'll be ready to undertake those responsibilities. Part of our training is to ensure that parents and community receive the most current information in a timely fashion so that they can be the first resource and be a credible resource for them. So we did media training with one of the key people as the public information officer. And in doing that, she's prepped on how to handle media questions, but also how to deal with urgent questions that parents may have in getting them critical information so that they can make solid decisions for their students. So as we progress through the day, one of the concluding activities that we do during the day is to bring everybody together to debrief. And in a debriefing process, we look at what went well during the exercise, but we also identify where we need to still work. Emergency preparedness is something that is a living document. You have to continually work on it. You learn from the mistakes that occur. But those should be things that we look at regardless of where we are within our emergency preparedness process, because you can always learn from an event. No two events are ever the same. So in applying those learnings to the next exercise, we then again advance to a next step for the emergency preparedness level of the school district.
Thank you for joining me today as we spotlighted safety in San Jacinto. I can guarantee our community that if there is a real emergency, and we have had them, that we are as prepared as possible in San Jacinto Unified. Thank you for entrusting San Jacinto Unified School District to not only educate your students, but to ensure that they are safe in any emergency. And we'll see you next time on the next edition of Spotlight on San Jacinto.